Okay, welcome everybody. We're moving into our second week with digital imaging. And I would like to say that this video is going to be perusing the pages that I have given you, the pages that you have had access to, but we're going to go a little deeper and we're going to talk about the things that we're going to come to understand regarding digital media formats, digital media composition, deliverables, such as our first assignment, which will be a print assignment. So I have looked at all of your blogs and I've made comment in the discussion board. So again, let's reiterate what's important about this online asynchronous class is that I will be creating video tutorials to guide you through the tools and through the lectures. You are to respond to those lectures and tutorials, as well as each other's blogs on the discussion board. And so I will create a discussion thread to get you started. And what's important about the discussion board is that you're going to share your ideas, your recommendations, your critiques, and I'm going to be doing the same. This is the conversation that we have about the work that we do, and we wanted to come up to the professional level so that you can have the opportunity of internships, learning more about your craft, and in our situation, digital imaging, we are really going to learn about Photoshop. So let's get started. So I'm going to share my screen, of course, as always. And what's important to remember is whenever you begin to work on the assignments for digital imaging, you want to always go to the assignment page. And in this way, I will be putting down exactly what I want to be seeing. So there has been some things missing in the blogs. So you want to be sure that you have a sustainable page. You want to be sure that you've created all the pages that I've asked for. And then you want to be sure you have chosen your one sustainable theme that will have a photo, that will have the URL link to the nonprofit organization. The logo is good. If you can find the logo, you can almost Google the logo for that. And you want to talk about what your event you're going to be doing for this print. So that's the important context, is that the marketing campaign is that we're launching something that will activate new viewers, old viewers, visitors to the website to be able to take action, which is either to go to an event, a conference, an outreach program to better inform about the services as such. So that's what we're looking for in our first 2 weeks. Then, and in that context, the important thing is that this page should be looking as professional as possible. So we will look at examples so that you can follow that. So it's important to remember that all of these resources are here for you to peruse. Now, I give you more than you need as far as resources concerned. That is up to you how much you want to dig into really learning more about the craft of digital media and creating digital media content. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be exploring the week 1 and 2 pages of all the links that I have given you. So let's continue to that. So again, each week it will tell you to go to the assignment resources, and that's where we're going. So let's head down to that, and we can bypass this week 1, week 2. This is sort of just a page that will kind of briefly give you right up front links to the tutorials or very specific topics regarding the assignment. So hopefully you have perused these links, because that is self-explanatory in perusing these links. Some people may be requiring you to do reading. I am requiring that you peruse the links that I give you, and that often comes to videos, yes, some reading, but also looking at examples, so that if you have questions, you can be asking that. So number 1, our first assignment is going to be for print, and it's going to be a poster for whatever theme or event you have decided upon. In that context, it's very important to remember that all designers often choose examples to inspire them. So you are to peruse these two lights, apologize on that. You're going to peruse these two links to be able to see lots of different styles. Now, you don't have to find them there. If you know of other graphic designers or you have seen certain design work, all of this work to the left is all of my student work. Everything pretty much on this page, as far as images are concerned, not links, but images, are student work. So, number one, tell me what you would like to see in the design of your poster. That is what you're going to put on the sustainable page. So we are now embellishing that page that you have simply created for week 1, which is choose a sustainable theme, give me the link, give me your ideas. Now you're going to be thinking about what's the look and feel that you want your poster to have. These are 3 distinctive styles: hyperrealism, cubism, and collage. Very, very different. I would say the closest of the two would be cubism and collage, but still they are very different. So peruse those, and this way when you are explaining the style and the look and feel of your poster, you will be discussing, is it hyperrealism? Is it cubism? Is it collage? And if you found something different, let's hear about it so that we can all critique and hear about your ideas. So after you've done that, and you've viewed all of the videos and the links that I've given you here, and again, please, I am totally accessible. You just have to email me and we can meet on Zoom, meet during your office hours, and so forth. So after you've perused this page, then you go to click More, and that will happen each week. So as we advance to this next page, the reading is here on the page for you. And so what I'm hoping that you're going to do is you're going to explore Eric Johansson. Eric Johansson absolutely gives you a feel about hyperrealism. And it's really exciting and it's really engaging. And you go, whoa. So that's a particular style, as we had just mentioned in the page before. And for a nonprofit cause, it definitely stops you in your tracks, and it definitely encourages and inspires you to think about what is the message that you are trying to convey with your hyperrealism. And so that's important to peruse. The other aspect is, of course, there are video tutorials that I'd like to show you here. And I have been teaching digital imaging for a number of years. So over the years, I have created videos, and they're very specific. But I will continue to create new videos, which will be for our class. But you certainly can look at the archives. So there is the archives here. And that's what's important to be able to realize, that lots of tutorials will be there for you. So I will be creating new ones as we go along. Now this example here is one of my students, and as well as this. So you can see it's a nonprofit organization, Kids with Camera. This is where you were inspired for any sustainable topics. This here gives you an idea that sustainability is not just about climate change. Sustainability is about sustaining something that you want that is viable to our existence. And all of these are viable to our existence: economics, ecology, culture, politics. And so it's important that noticing how visual information gives you a better idea. So in ecology, we're not doing too good as far as climate can change. Politics, this is a long time ago. I don't know what this circle would look like today. Culture, pretty good, right? Economics, probably has some hot spots and so forth. But the important thing is that the picture can say a lot more than what you see. So on here, again, student example, we are going to peruse these pages each week because this is where I put the resources. Now you probably have realized that on your syllabus, there is blog postings. So you do want to get started on your blog postings, and blog postings are really, really important in today's 21st century pages. And so I've given you a student example here for blog paging. And basically the important thing, so this is Kathleen, and I like to use Kathleen often because she's, number one, a professional. She came to us taking all of our classes, and she's now a freelance designer making a living at what we were teaching. So I'm really happy to show her work. And the reason why she's so successful is because this blog was very professional. And so this is your benchmark to look at Kathleen's blog and see, does your blog have as much quality, as much information, and so forth. And what you will come to understand is that Kathleen really expresses her ideas and her frustrations and her challenges, all that we all experience if we're going to be a pro. So the blog, what is a blog? A blog is a posting, and a blog is very different than your WordPress pages. Pages are basically your navigational menu right up here, like a traditional website. So technically, you could have a WordPress site that is not a blog, but only a website. And what that would mean is that you have only pages and no blog. But why is a blog important? In the digital imaging age of websites and content management systems and sites that you visit and sites that you follow, or podcasting, or YouTube hits, it's because people see that you have been exploring and researching and finding exciting new resources. And that's important for someone who's going to be interested in you as a team player in a particular career opportunity. Career opportunities is about working with a team. And working with a team, people rely on each other to be resourceful. You do not have to know everything. You do not. But you do have to know the people that do know more than you know. That is what we call networking. That's what's important to understand. So in blogging, how blogging came about is that when people came to your site, the home page, which is your landing page, was very different, and you had new information. So therefore, you had more visitors coming back to your website because they see, wow, this site really has some really good information. And Kathleen will give that to you. Lots of good information. So the format for blogs follows this format. Very simply stated on this page, as I said, a title, 3 to 5 sentences about the subject matter, an image or a video, an embedded YouTube or Vimeo, whatever video you have, and a link that says read more that leads you back to the source of what you found. What's important about blogging is you want to be sure that you're only blogging positive things. Why? Because if you start saying negative things, critical things, the person that you're talking about, the website that you're linking to, is not going to be happy that you have their link on your website, and that's actually a copyright infringement. Yeah, it's a copyright infringement. But if you say positive things, resourceful things, you are now leading more traffic to their site where they will get more visitors, and that makes them really happy. That's the community of positive thinking, resourcefulness, and support for each other. So that's important to remember about your blog. So that is what Kathleen has done. She's given me a title. What what's in a line, O type? Ask Otter Mertenda. Oh, I'm sorry, Merkthaler. Can't even pronounce that. This is someone that she was very inspired by, just like I've given you links to be inspired to find the look and feel that you like. Now, why do I ask you to find something what you like? Because as for myself, if I was an art director and you were the client, finding something that you like gives me an idea, a visual idea of the things that you like. And therefore, I am going to set out my creativity ideas to fit in that influence, that inspiration. So again, a blog has a title, it has an image, it has your words in 3 to 5 sentences, and it has a link to continue reading. If you love to write and you see yourself as a good writer, or you want to become a good writer, write more than 3 to 5 sentences. No one's holding you back. I'm only asking that because that is a professional level that should be there on a blog posting, and that is why it is called blog posting. And that is why it is required for you to do 12. And it's just pass and fail. You either have done the blog or you have not. But I'm letting you know it is up to you to put the quality into your work. That's the important aspect of the classes, is that I give you the opportunity to give you enough resources to be able to do the quality of work. It is your job to be able to take advantage of that and to produce that, because that will get you a lot further down the road for career opportunities. Not only just for career opportunities, but creativity objectives and options. The more you know your craft and your tool, the more creative you can be, the more robust, and honestly, the more fun. So that's what I love to do, and I'm hoping to inspire that in you, and that's what all these pages are there for you. So let's go back and wrap this up, because I want to definitely not make a long video for you, because I want you to be perusing these pages. So again, please be scanning these resources, and if you come across a broken link, email me. I do not know if something is broken if you do not tell me it is broken. So tell me if a link is broken, and then I can fix it. So scanning images, digital media formats, and things like that. Now, I did have a secret before, didn't I? What's the difference between a JPEG and a PNG? So the important aspect right off the bat, easily enough to tell you, is that a PNG has transparencies and a JPEG does not. That's basically the answer. A PNG right here has transparency, and it says right there, transparency, and a JPEG does not. Now, one student gave me a little bit of the difference between the two. And that is true what they said. But the biggest, most important aspect is that if you need transparency, a JPEG is not going to give it to you. If you need transparency, a PNG will give it to you. And when we get into Photoshop tutorial tools, we will talk more about that to be able to make transparency in Photoshop. So that's the quick mystery question as it is. And I more than likely will always embed it into the video because it's fun. And as you know, it's a needle in a haystack. Welcome to perusing websites and learning software. So these digital media formats are going to give you lots of links that are going to show you how to...
Images and other graphics can often make or break a design.
No commercials on this one.
We'll start here with file types. We're going to focus on bitmap, GIF, PNG, JPEG, and SVG.
Now, on this video, I don't need to show you that video in this video because you're going to watch it. So it's important to do that and come with your questions. The resources that I've given you are important to understand that it is about the learning and absorbing all of the information that I'm giving you. so that you then can apply it to your deliverable, to your assignments, and talk about it. Talk about JPEGs and PNGs when you are creating them. And these videos will help you articulate that. So we'll come back to this. And the formats are really important. It is the foundation of understanding how to create content, because you are either importing or you are exporting. And you have to know the size, the resolution, the color system, and so forth. When we get into Photoshop, on the Photoshop tutorials, that will give you the opportunity to understand much deeper, because the program is in front of you and you have to make decisions. These pages, which are on the WordPress site, are resources, are archives for you to peruse and absorb as if you were reading chapters in a book. So again, please watch all the videos. They are there for you. Now on the glossary here, let's take a look at this. These are really important terminology. And I could put you to sleep if I read all of this to you. But it's a very good site to begin to peruse and begin to understand, because this is the shop talk that everybody utilizes when you're working in a studio. So when someone starts throwing around the word hyperlink or IP address, whatever it may be, these are the things that relate to specifically to digital media. And this is important. Now, I could give you a quiz on this, but you'll forget it by the end of the day. I want you to really sink your teeth into this, read this, and really remember to, number one, put this link on your website. Yes, pick up my URL, I believe it's a PDF, and put it onto your archives for resources. That is what I use my WordPress for. It is my Library of Congress for resources and for show and tell and by example. So let's continue on. Creative literacy, absolutely. This came out of MoMA. This sort of gives you contemporary language. And I put this in here because it has a lot of the traditional artists and designers, but these are masters. These are masterpieces. But they're incredibly inspirational. Anything old is as inspirational as anything new. So another one that's a great resource coming out of the Museum of Modern Art. So this is definitely another one to peruse, A through Z. So as you continue going on, as you can see, we can go into digital literacy and so forth. And again, these are for you to peruse. They're self-explanatory, and they are there to help you to understand more about what you're learning in the digital imaging class. In digital marketing, it's important because the reason why iTech has 3 concentrations with a foundation of required courses and then electives in your particular special interest area is that all 3 concentrations, digital marketing, web design, UX, UI, and game design and computer animation, all of them share the same skills. When they become different is when you go a little bit digger and deeper and you want to master that particular category, that particular niche, and that is your interest, such as computer animation. So people who are in digital marketing, they may not want to do so much animation, but the foundational courses gives you enough information to understand what one needs to build an animation and how much time. So it's important to know that if you budget in your production to create a marketing campaign, whatever it may be, how long is it going to take and how much is it going to cost? Those are the important things for digital marketing. So we continue going on to taking images. This is a great site. And this is here for you to be able to take good photographs with your phone, with your smartphone. And it's important to realize, whoops, that I'm just going to keep the sound off on here. What's important about this is, you know, your smartphone is pretty close to an SLR. And I'm not too happy with smartphones on landscapes, but I'm really happy with the iPhone for close-ups like this is and so forth. iPhone's brilliant for anything that's close. So this is a nice video for you to help you to take the photographs that you can take for this class, and you can take all of your photographs. We will get into composition and things of that sort. So again, these are links for you to peruse. And the aspect of why I've given you sources such as printing is because our first job, our first assignment, is going to be a print example. And it's important to understand everything that there is to do about printing. And that also means about getting a printer for your job. So it's very important to establish professional relationships with other vendors because they are going to help you make the deliverable. And you want to be sure that you're on the same page and understanding each other. So it's really important to begin to build those professional networking services. Workflow is something important that we talk about in class, and I want to be able to share that with you. And that is the aspect of how workflow goes. And this gives you the idea about how to utilize Bridge. So in Bridge, it's important to understand that it is really about file management. We'll talk a little bit about Bridge when we do our video Photoshop tutorial, but Bridge is really primarily used for photographers. And you could also imagine animators or video filmmakers where you have hundreds, if not thousands, of files for each project. And this just helps you in the file management of it. It can create watermarks. It can create identification tags, copyright tags embedded into the digital document. So it's hugely important for those levels. So let's continue on. So this example here is exactly a student example where we talk about how when you don't know the tools, you end up with something that you're not happy with. But when you do understand your tools, which is where I helped this student, so when we have our critiques and you say, you know, I don't like Photoshop, I don't like the way this is going, that's understandable. You should be critical of yourself and critical of what you absolutely want to see. And when a student presented this, he was not satisfied with it. So I helped guide him in the tools, in the ideas to make the composite to be here. And this is a lovely piece that's very high res, and it kind of gives you an idea of the before and after. And that might happen with you. So it's important to know that everything is a work in progress, and that is why we share each other's progress and we give feedback and suggestions and recommendations. All feedback and critiques are positive, they're constructive, and they're inspirational. It's not about, I don't like that, I don't know why I don't like that, I don't think this is any good. And that doesn't fly. Negativity pretty much never flies. What does fly is recommendation, showing examples of what you're trying to explain. Those are the things that are important to understand when you are critiquing each other's work. So this is a couple of examples here, which will go through hyperrealism, some cubism, if you can see. Not too sure if it's coming out in video, but if you look at the website, it will have that. And this is like another hyperrealism. And this wasn't sustainability. This was a film poster. Somebody loved Pokemonsters and wanted a Pokemonster film to be made. So I'm going to stop my share right now. This is one of the tutorials of the many. And the next tutorial we will be doing is right in Photoshop. But before we can get started in Photoshop, I need to see those things that I asked on the page, which is to ask and to look at. Now you need to go and choose the look and feel that you would like your poster to be having, to be inspired by. And you also want to look at the other students' websites and comment. If there's something missing where you don't see a link and you say, I wish I could see a link to the nonprofit organization, say that. That would give a heads up to the person who built that page that they need to put the link, because that was what I asked. So we want to see pictures of this, some of the nonprofit pictures. We want to see an inspirational picture of the technique, hyperrealism, cubism, collage. What example do you want to see and be inspired by for this particular poster? That is what we're looking for on this page, which is the sustainable. So I'm going to give you another surprise question right now. Is number one, please be sure that you have the Adobe license that you can download for yourself, or if you do have it on your own subscription. Very important. Be sure that you have access to Blackboard. I will always give you an announcement if I've uploaded any new content at all times. And I'm hoping that all of you will be emailing me and asking me questions. I heard from one student and said, should I do this? And I said, sure thing, go ahead, move forward. Absolutely. I look forward to those emails. In an asynchronous class, this is what we depend on. So anyway, I will be coming back and giving you a quiz on the next video. I can't think of something right now. So next video we'll have a quiz. Well, see you on the next. Bye-bye.